You're listening to the Packernet Podcast Network.
It's done.
Connor McDavid! It's not real!
The goal of the year,
Panarin!
part of the past. The celebrations, forgotten. The history,
Vegas Golden Knights!
history. We're back to a blank slate. Clean ice. All that matters now is what happens next. The Stanley Cup playoffs.
Eastern Conference Final begins Wednesday.
Welcome back to Packernet. JJ Leahy, Brian Schlip, and Jake Shavink. And it's been a hot minute. Nice for you guys to drop in and chat with us. I see the numbers are already starting to go up. That's cool. Love to see you guys in here. Drop some questions in the chat for us. So I was out of town. Took my first vacation in 4 years. Went to New York. It was kind of fun. But I noticed something weird. Welcome, Harry Cheese. Just already starting off on a rough foot. All right, I'm trying.
Harry Cheese is trying to get it derailed.
I'm trying to get us through one episode, and I can't even fit. Like immediately, we get Harry Cheese. Chef kiss on today's podcast. Oh, sweet! I haven't listened to that yet. But good job, Ryan.
Thanks. I don't remember what it was about, but I'm glad it was satisfying to somebody.
So I grew up in the Midwest. I've lived basically my whole life all of my whole life in Michigan and Ohio. My family is from Green Bay, but I have never lived in Wisconsin. And like, I'm used to your football being like the thing. So there's always Steelers and Browns and Buckeyes and Lions gear everywhere you go out, that's what people are wearing, the Packers. And I saw like a couple of people repping the Giants while I was in New York City. Didn't see any Jets anywhere, which was just so weird to me.
I think that's probably common in bigger cities. I feel like New York and California. That's why LA has had such a hard time keeping a football team, because it's like, football, I don't know. We got enough stuff we care about, like purses and shoes and stuff. I don't know what they do in California, to be honest.
Well, they got I was there for like 6 days, didn't see a single person wearing anything Jets, and it got me thinking, like, if you listen to all the NFL media and ESPN and everybody, all they care about is like the big city teams, and I'm like, dude, the people who live there don't care.
Right. Big city people don't care about big city teams.
You come to the Midwest, like, we live and breathe football because there's not much else to do except like be psychotically crazy about our football teams.
Yeah. And then down south, they're so into college and stuff, it kind of pulls away a little bit from some of the pro stuff.
Yeah, a lot of what I did see was there was a decent amount of Rangers fans, because I guess the Rangers in the playoffs. I don't know.
Oh, yes, of course.
I did see a decent amount of those. So maybe there's some people who would be wearing Jets, but it's Rangers season right now. I don't know.
Sure. Who knows?
Jake,
the Jets fans got to be sure that the Achilles is looks okay, right?
I feel like
I don't
Jets
think they're
fans
ready
kinda
to come
got
out of the
burned
woodwork yet. Like they're like, oh my gosh, that actually happened. Like they're just preparing. They just play on Monday night to open the season again. Like,
Yep.
I think they would just like to get through 1 week
Yes.
before they start wearing jerseys in the city. That's all I can think of. Like,
There's so much effort that goes in. They're like the opposite of Bears fans. It's Bears fans are all excited to start getting jacked up in the offseason. Everybody else is like, you know what? Win a game, and then I'll put on my freaking jersey, okay?
Think about how many times poor Jets fans have gotten their hopes up in recent years. You know, you draft Zach Wilson number 2 overall. You have to be thinking like, hey, come on, look, I know that there's this random a-hole in the Midwest who's tweeting at me that Zach Wilson is bad, but everybody else says he's good.
Yeah.
And, you know, we drafted him 2 overall. Like, how bad can he be? Oh, pretty darn bad. And then you go get Aaron Rodgers, and we know what happened. I mean, at this point, the Jets fans that do exist are probably like, dude, I got to see it to believe it.
Well, I mean, okay, so I got a list here. They had Zach Wilson. Before that, they drafted Sam Darnold, who they had a lot of hope in. They had Geno Smith. They had Mark Sanchez. Obviously, they had Brett Favre. I don't exactly remember how much they believed in like Chad Pennington. I don't know if that was like he was going to be a big thing or not.
That was probably the one. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's been this constant cycle of we got our guy, like this is going to be it, and it's just the worst. Like these guys shouldn't have been 3rd round picks that you're taking. This is terrible.
Well, you look at like probably the best quarterback play they've had in recent years was friggin' Mike White.
Yeah.
Yep. 100%. 100%. There's nobody better.
I was almost going to say Rodgers' 4 plays were probably the best, but they were actually kind of awful. So I can't even say that.
I know.
So we have Elevated Shine wants to know if the Packers had OTAs today. From what I understand, the OTAs are like really starting tomorrow. Like there's some guys in town today, but things aren't like really getting into swing until tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's the first media session where the media is open to come in and see what they're doing. Today, I don't know what they did, but it wasn't open to the media, so there's no real news coming out. I was hoping they'd at least do like a press conference or something, but nothing for today.
We also have Aspendale Farm says, hi, guys. And actually, Aspendale Farm DM'd me a message or a question for the show. So I think the context here is like Billy Turner is gone, Zadarius Smith is gone, David Bakhtiari is gone. Who is the new best hair on the team now?
Royce, right?
Oh, man.
Who's competing with Royce?
Sean Ryan, maybe.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't think that's it.
Here, we'll...
Tucker Kraft needs to go all Clay Matthews. And, I mean, just watch the legend grow even more.
Yeah, I mean,
that's pretty good.
You can't compete with that.
Yeah.
I'm so sad that didn't work out. I mean, was he a 4th round pick or a 5th round pick?
I think
he was a 4th.
So it's like 4th round pick. He's got the hair. Royce knew it. I thought it was going to work, man. I thought that was the guy.
Look, he's still. This is my all-time favorite picture of.
That's pretty.
Sean Ryan.
Yeah, that's the best one. That's the best.
Like, which photographer hates this man enough that he took that picture and then thought, "Yeah, I'll post that."
All-timer.
Yeah, that's the one right there.
Man. That's top 10 in Packers history. I don't care what anyone says.
It's another guy I'm kind of sad. And we'll see. Maybe he will pan out, but it's like, man, it could have been something beautiful we had.
I'm so interested to see how they do their O-line because, like, you know, they kind of did that with the corner thing, right? Where they're like, oh, we kind of believe in our guys. We'll wait till the 7th round. Like, if Jordan Morgan plays tackle, like, there's got to be belief in somebody.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And I don't know who else other than Ryan they could be thinking of.
Right, for sure.
Ryan has to have the inside track on the starting job. I mean,
yeah.
My contention has never been, hey, I don't think that the Packers view him like that. My contention has been, I don't view him like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jake, I don't know if you have the ability to bump your mic just a touch. Sometimes you kind of get lost in the fray. I can't hear you a ton.
Let me make sure that
here I cranked him up.
You sounded
okay.
We'll see if that's any better.
Should be.
Yeah, sounding good.
So Christian Watson has been growing his hair out. He probably is not in the lead right now, but I think if he keeps growing it out, he could be in contention. I mean, come on, that ain't bad.
No, you can do stuff here. There's options.
You know, he's kind of like, what year was it that Devontae looked like this? Was it year 3 for Devontae that his hair looked like that?
I don't know.
Because he was growing his out for quite a few years.
It probably was in his first contract, yeah.
And then, you know whose hair I like, actually? Dontavian Wicks has some good hair.
Yeah?
Well, let me see here. It's not long, but that's some cool hair, I think.
It's just it's like Watson a little bit more advanced though.
Yep.
There might not be a player I'm more excited about this year.
That's not bad right there. That reminds me of like Green Day or some 90s fake punk band.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good too there.
Yeah.
Jake, are you talking about Wicks's play on the field or his hair when you say he's the one who excites you the most? Okay.
Play, just for sure. Just check for sure play.
I always mean the hair.
Now, much as I love Romeo, I think his hair is not where it's at.
I mean, I feel like Romeo and Jaden and Wicks and Watson, they're all kind of going for the same look here. Even is that Toure? It says Wicks, but I'm pretty sure that's Toure.
This is a true no one is our wide receiver 1 play. I don't think there's more of a play for that than let's all have the same haircut. Like,
yeah,
could they tell?
I didn't even notice until we went through it. I'm like, they're all doing the same thing here,
right? Well, and I don't think Jadakiss Bonds is on the team anymore, but that's not some bad hair. Yeah. Oh, we're forgetting somebody. I know Jadakiss somebody. Look, where's Stokes? Come on now.
Oh, yeah. Stokes has got it, man. He's committed. True. These guys are just posers, man. They're just trying to be. They're trying to be half of what Stokes is.
The receiver room is trying to be Stokes for sure.
Yeah.
Stokes has such a unique look because he's got like a red beard and the freckles, which is kind of a unique look for a black man. And
could be like half Irish or something. I don't know.
Half Irish black man. Yeah. I dig it. As a proud Irishman myself, who also loves Stokes, I would be.
There is some like Vikingness in there. You know what I mean? Looks pretty hardcore.
You're not kidding.
We have reached peak off season here. We are 12 minutes in.
Stokes looks like a Viking. The end. No.
Jake, you don't even know. You don't even know how peak off season we're getting on this episode.
Oh Lord.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's for everybody in here. Just by the way, Jake and I never have any idea what we're doing. JJ's like, "Oh, I got some stuff cooked up," and I'm just like, "Oh Lord, I'm scared."
I work here. I'm not in the back room. I just work here.
I will happily share the context that it always starts with me saying, "What do you guys want to talk about?" and then crickets, and I say, "Well, how about this?" and you guys are like, "Yeah, I guess as long as I don't have to come up with what it's going to be."
Listen, the owner in the back
is fair. I'm just letting people know. We're coming in blind.
Yeah,
I think it's a good thing. I don't want to know. It makes it more fun. I'm just stating that I don't know and I'm scared. That's all.
Too old for this. Wants to do a 2022 mock draft. No.
That's interesting.
It's so funny. We just before the draft, that's all we heard is mock draft. Now it's done. It's like, all right, do another mock draft. That will never die.
If you're the Lions, would you take Brock Purdy 2nd overall in that? If you did a redo.
Did they have the number 2 pick in 2022?
They did, yeah.
I don't think so.
I think they're pretty happy with Jared Goff. I think there's better players in the 20 draft.
I mean, I mean, all things being equal, you take him, but I don't know. I think you're good at quarterback. I'd do something else.
I think the Jets are taking him at 4 if the Lions are not taking him.
Well yeah. Fine.
Yeah.
So that's why I asked about the Lions, because it was
like their entire defense. Their defense should be terrible except they have Aiden.
Yeah.
See, but would the Jags take Aiden first?
The Jags would take Aiden.
Then the Lions are taking Hamilton.
Are you going to make me pull up the 2022 draft so I can do this?
Yeah.
I thought we were moving off this.
Here, so we got.
Listen,
Eric
Tulfus
Stingley,
brought it up.
I just thought
He
it
brought
was
it. He
a
brought
quick
it up.
little thing here.
Hey.
We're going deep in it. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let me.
Hamilton's not going 14th, man.
The Lions could take Quay Walker at 2.
Okay. They could just take an earlier branch in like McDuffie.
I thought this was going to be interesting. It's not.
No, it's interesting.
Let's see. Tool for this says Preston has the best hair. I don't think so, man.
Preston does?
No, Elton Jenkins has the best hair.
Now you guys got me trying to picture people's hair. I can't do it.
Elton
Preston doesn't have any. Isn't it just pretty generic?
Doesn't have hair.
I know Elton Jenkins doesn't.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was picturing. Just very short, like the
Wait,
top. The second from the top is
This
sort
picture
of.
you're referring to?
No,
Is
we
this
shouldn't
one?
go there.
I don't know. Is it
Preston does have some pretty good hair.
No,
Check out that Preston Smith hair.
that's not bad.
Dang,
That's
Preston.
like that must have been young Royce's hair, right? The baseball.
That must
kid.
be after he cut and dyed his hair.
Yeah. Nah, Elton Jenkins, number 1.
10-minute hair talk. This is how rough the offseason is. Just shoot me now.
That's yeah. That's what I was talking about. We were 12 minutes in.
High five on
That's
the
what
hair
I was
discussion.
referencing.
All right. So far,
This is mad.
I think it's a 2-way tie between Aspendale.
Didn't I pay you
Farm,
people for this?
hair.
Can I drop us down to 0? I'm not double paying you people.
I don't know. You're the one in charge of that.
Well, I heard no.
Yeah, I just
objections.
work here.
You can drop Jake's. Don't drop mine.
I'm stealing your money right now. By the way, everybody has $0, so JJ, do your spiel.
I think
Okay.
this is the good time to reset it, right? Post draft feels like a good time to reset.
Great time. You know, it's been stacked up for a while. It's getting a little too high, a little too uncomfortable. Let's drop it.
Yep.
Okay, so I think it's a 2-way tie right now between Aspendale Farm wanting us to talk about dude's hair and then Harry Cheese for being named Harry Cheese. So
we
go
almost
for,
went down a 2022 mock draft rabbit hole.
Yeah,
we were really close to doing.
I would say so far it's been a successful derailed.
Yeah.
So far, so good.
All right, so we did get a question about who takes a leap in 2024. And I think we should kind of do this draft style. You guys can draft who you want to talk about as your dude.
No.
Stop it, Harry Cheese.
I'm not putting that on the screen.
Stop it. We're going to leave Aspendale Farms comment pinned.
I think I played my hand on this, which is unfortunate.
Well, we'll have to see where
we were doing. I didn't know we were doing
draft.
this. I didn't know we were doing this. I played my hand, I think.
Okay, here's what we're going to do.
Okay.
We're going to chat GPT.
Okay.
And, pick a random order for these 3 names. Ryan, JJ, and Jake. And roll. Random order, Jake, JJ, Ryan. All right, so Jake,
Perfect.
you have the first pick. We're going to do, we'll start with 2 rounds here. So who takes a leap in 2024? And I'm going to say.
I'm taking your guy, I think.
I'm
taking him.
You're legally allowed to do that, so go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to do it, I think.
Okay.
Is it like elevator pitch? Or are we going a little bit longer than an elevator pitch?
I think
Whatever
you
you
go
got.
long as you can make it interesting. Once it starts getting boring, we'll cut you off.
I'll just start making stuff up.
Yeah, so the first overall pick, I think, like genuinely has to be Carl Brooks. It has to be, I think, because again, the defensive line room. What are we looking at right now? There's all this talk about like a Kenny Clark extension or not, right? We're kind of playing tennis with that so far, in terms of the news. Devontae Wyatt, it's not completely there, and maybe he's gonna get picked tonight. I don't know. Maybe he will. Hasn't been there yet. What I have seen is Carl Brooks breaking out the 2-hand swipe, like getting to the quarterback means living. Like he breaks that out. I think, we talked about him a lot, like, leading up to the draft. JJ brought him up really early. How, again, dominant he was in terms of pressures, in terms of grading at Bowling Green. 5th round pick, not a lot of expectations, but when he got into the lineup, he was, being disruptive. And I think the Packers are, in this defense, are going to be begging for somebody to break onto the scene at defensive tackle. I'm just not necessarily buying it for Wyatt. I think he's a great pass rusher. I'm just not buying it on all 3 downs yet. We obviously know how good Kenny is. I'm not buying Slayton at this point. I don't know what position Kobe Wooden's playing. We can speculate on that, I'm sure, another time. I just think, like, if this defensive line is going to make a much-needed leap with all of the young talent they have, I think Carl Brooks is going to be the one to do it. I just fascinated with kind of the limited reps we got all of last year, and I just feel like he's going to be somebody who is just going to be bought in, I think, with this defense. So I'm all in. Carl Brooks, breaking out 2024.
I'm expecting that a lot of our picks tonight are going to be on the defensive side of the ball. But I'm a little bit torn because there's a guy I want to pick, but I feel like you guys might argue with me about whether it qualifies as a jump forward.
Listen,
but I'm going to take
Kenny Clark. Okay,
I don't want to.
Can't pick Kenny. Can't pick him.
He's all yours. I'm actually going to take Jair to just have a big bounce back year. I feel really, really good about this pick for 2 reasons. One, seeing how much more bought in he is right now in what they're doing and how excited he is to be there. You compare it to last year where it was like, we knew from like day one that he kind of like didn't want to be there. And you could tell he still had like a ton of love for his teammates. And, there's a fun video of him like jumping on Jordan and during the interview and that kind of stuff. And like still, fun dude. But like, I think he genuinely loathed playing for Joe Barry. Yeah. Somebody, I think it might have been like Eli Berkovitz or somebody tweeted a clip, or the report was like the Jair was there like 4 days early working out with people or whatever. And they tweeted like, no matter how much you think you hated Joe Barry, it pales in comparison to how much Jair hated Joe Barry.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, you look at Jair's grades from last year, and he kind of already began the bounce back at the end of last year. His final 3 games played, which came after his suspension. All year he had been hovering in like basically like a 60. His best game of the year up until this point had been Week 9 against the Rams. He had a 75 grade. His first game back from suspension had an 84.9, followed up with an 82.8 against Dallas, and then still put up a 69.8 against the 49ers in the playoffs, but that would have still been one of his higher grades of the whole year. Like, I think he already got his head back where it needed to be. And so I just think he's going to come back in and kind of be the Jair we've known for most of his career. So I feel pretty good about projecting him to have a significantly better year this year than he did last year.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good picks that you could take. First of all, though, Ticket King, lowest ticket prices anywhere in the universe, Wisconsin-based, stationed in Green Bay and Milwaukee. There you go. Thank you, Jake, for the assist.
Yeah.
So please check out Ticket King. Obviously, we got the schedule out now, so now is the time when people are perusing, looking for tickets and whatnot. I hear, according to the people at Ticket King, they just kind of reached out a little bit. And for some reason, I guess the Colts game, well, I guess it's kind of obvious why, but the Colts game right now, buying up a lot of tickets. So if there's any interest in getting to that game, make sure you get on there and get you some tickets. So anyways, hopefully have a little bit more on that in the coming future. They said they wanted to have a little chat-ski about that, again, now that the schedule's open. But all right.
I think it's going to be a great game. I do.
Oh, yeah. The
fabulous one.
I'll take. I feel like it would have been the low hanging fruit, but it fell to me at 3
There's
here.
like 5 low hanging fruits.
I suppose, but I'm going Lucas Van Ness. I don't feel like I need to super elaborate on that. I just think when you look at his ceiling compared to what we got from him, I'm pretty optimistic as far as his ability and whatnot. So I don't know. I'm hopeful. I like what he can do. Definitely need more out of him, but I don't see any reason why in this defense that we won't get more. Interesting enough too, JJ, on what you were talking about. I was looking back at trying to pull up like old receipts or whatever, and one of the things we were talking about is how, in 2023, I think it was, how the defense is going to be more aggressive under Joe Barry and all that stuff. And I was like, yeah, same old talking points or whatever. And I read through it, and what it actually was the players were saying, we want to be more aggressive. We told them we want to be pressed up. We want to play man. We want to do all this kind of stuff. So it's just kind of interesting because we know the team wants to go in that direction as far as like Matt LaFleur wants to do it and Brian Gutekunst wants to do it, but the players really want it. They really want this change in attitude overall. And as much as you can try to get Joe Barry to tweak what he's doing to be kind of that way, it's never really going to be what they want. So yeah, I think as far as buy-in goes, I think they're really excited about this.
Well, it makes sense because it's such a young roster. Who would be opposed to being more aggressive? If anybody, it would be the old farts, and we don't.
Right.
So, hey, we got a dono from Joseph.
Heck yeah,
aka J-Way. It's about
Thanks,
time
J-Way.
to do Derailed next time we have a long break. Haha, yes, missed you guys. Joseph, I think, sent like 3 messages while we were on break asking.
I know that was everything. Please.
Yeah.
I know he was. I know he was
there's
tagging
no
you
content, man.
He messaged me at one point and said, like, hey, I know you're on vacation, but can you please drop one? And I was like, dude, I am 5 hours into a 13-hour drive. I literally can't. And my baby is screaming in the back seat and she has a poopy diaper. I literally can't.
That is such a miserable time.
Go live
in a person's life.
Go live while we're driving. Like, yeah, what's up? Just try to ignore the screaming.
Yeah.
So yeah.
To LVN's thing really quick.
Yeah.
Once I will say there was like the switch flipped last year. It was like about at the halfway mark where Joe Barry's like, maybe if I get Van Ness back to putting his hand in the dirt, which is what he did at Iowa, I might get better results. And how about it? There were better results. So like I think in this defense he's going to have his hand in I imagine that he's going to have his hand in the dirt a lot more. Obviously would love to see him develop more out of that 2-point stance, but I think like setting an edge, playing with more power, being able to explode out of that 3-point stance is just going to benefit him. Just having that for a full season, it's going to be a big deal. I think for Van
I'll
Ness.
never forget on the Twitters, one of my all-time favorites now is somebody made a comment which on its face is so stupid, something to the effect of like Van Ness is better standing up than hand in the dirt, and then Christian Watson's dad posted a highlight video of Lucas Van Ness. Every single play was when he had his hand in the dirt. Like, you would think once accidentally he'd make a play standing up. No, every single one was him coming out of a hand in the dirt stance.
That was a good one.
That's hilarious. It's like, buddy, the games are on NFL Plus, brother. What are we doing? Like, go
But
find
it's just
them.
such a weird take to have anyways. Like, why do you think he didn't do that in college? What is it that makes you think that would have made him better? You obviously never saw it happen, so it's not even like you saw it once and then you thought, oh, he's better standing up, because it didn't happen. I think people just like to say stuff to argue.
Yep.
Yeah, it could be. I know that I have been guilty sometimes of like I will either see something or think I saw something for like one play and then believe it for a while.
Oh yeah,
could totally be that he saw another player do something standing up and was like, "Dang, look at number 58. Isn't that Lucas Van Ness? That was sick."
Probably.
Maybe he chased down Fields in a 2-point stance
could
in the
be.
first game of the season.
It could be.
But that
Not that that's
it,
relevant
man.
to that play, but yeah, that could be.
It's like, yeah, that's athleticism, buddy. That's not like
Right.
2 versus 3. Yeah, right, right. But he might have saw that like, oh, he was at 2-point at the snap. Oh my gosh, look at him go. It's like, no, he's a good athlete. That's what look at him go means. Like,
that's
come on,
speed, brother.
So, yeah, I think Van Ness was a great one. Obviously, probably going to get a lot more reps, right? Enigbare, who knows when we're going to see him? No idea. Yeah. He's going to have to be a bigger part of the rotation. No doubt.
Is Enigbare your next pick here?
No. Okay. My next pick is a player I would have taken at 1-1, but played the board really nicely. What's up?
Can we hit Harry's question real quick about LVN here before we move off? So he wants to know if we could see Van Ness end up rotating inside sometimes. And I feel like the fact that he did it at Iowa should mean it's definitely on the table, and his coaches know he did it at Iowa.
I don't know how common that is in this style of defense to have the inside guys go outside guys going inside. Like, did Daniil Hunter ever play as a defensive tackle?
The only guy I can think of doing it, we had Za'Darius do it a couple times when he was here.
Yeah. But I mean, like, that was a different defensive system. Now that we're in that 4-3, I just don't know if it seems like they're a little bit more stringent about that. Plus, we have more interior guys. We're a little thin on the outside. I don't really see the purpose of doing it. Could he handle it from a strength standpoint? Sure. But I don't know that would be ever a time where he's the guy that you want on the inside.
Wouldn't
I'm not thinking of it. What's up?
So when JJ Watt was in Houston, they were playing a 4-3, weren't they? I know they play a 4-3 right now.
Sometime they did.
They played some 3-4 as well.
I think they were 3-4 a lot of the time. Because he actually was an interior guy. He was a defensive end in a 3-4.
I do think they 3-4 D end, and then when they got into nickel stuff, they were like, "Yeah, you can play either spot you like," and he got plenty of reps out there on the edge as well. Like he moved around for sure.
Because Pittsburgh runs a 3-4,
right? They do.
So, and the Watts are kind of my go-to comparison to what Van Ness could be. So, it's a little tough that they're both in 3-4s.
Yeah. I mean, I think TJ's a little lighter, right? But
yeah.
I think it's
Van
just
Ness and JJ have always been my comparison, but now JJ's out of the league, so
right, that's fair. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm interested to see what they think Wooden is doing in this defense. I know I brought him up again. He's not my pick. Don't worry. But I'm just interested to know where he's playing, because then that gives me like, all right, so they, maybe they think they have more depth at defensive end than they do a defensive tackle now, and now they can, I could see them moving guys around a little bit more like LVN. So I have no idea where he's playing. I know some people have thrown out the idea of Carl Brooks playing defensive end. No thanks.
Well, you may have no idea where they're playing. Ryan has no idea which is which.
So
yeah, that's true. Still, I'll never know who Brooks and Wooden are.
The number, playing that they're one guy. On, yeah, that was so frustrating in the preseason trying to remember which number was which.
All season long I'm just like, that was either Brooks or Wooden, dude. Nice.
Yeah, right, exactly. Preseason I was like, oh yeah, let's go Carl Brooks, and I look at the numbers, I'm like, oh wait, nope, that's Colby.
One of them's got to separate a little bit. One of them needs to be great, one of them needs to be a bust, and then we'll go from there.
I'm one of the few people who's never had a hard time keeping them straight, because I was obsessed with Carl Brooks and had never heard of Colby Wooden. So it's always been really easy for me to be like, oh yeah, my guy, and I still don't know who you are.
JJ was probably pondering the jersey buy. So he had the number in front of him like all summer long, and he's like, I know what number he is. That's fair. That's fair.
All right, go ahead and draft your guy there, Jake.
Yeah, Tay Wicks all day. This is wide receiver 1 in my opinion in the offense. I know they say, "Oh, we don't have one." Blah blah blah. Okay, that's fine. That's fine that they don't have one. I like that. But in terms of go win on the outside against man coverage, against zone coverage, this is the guy who's going to do it. I know there's another receiver who might get brought up a little bit later, but all things considered, when you go back and watch Wicks as a rookie, it mirrors a lot of what he did in, I'm going to get this right, 2021 at Virginia. He was dominant that year. He was making plays down the field. He was getting open at every level. He was a 3-level threat down there. Bad season of quarterback play leading into a lot of contested looks, some bad drops. It was just an off year. Goody clearly saw the 2021 version and he got it. As a rookie, from all we've seen with him doing workouts and stuff, he looks more built than he did last year, which, hey, if you're going to be like an X receiver, yeah, give me that type of build at the position. Yeah. So I'm all in. I think, the receiver rooms might all, take a little bit of a step, but I think Wicks is going to be that dude this year at receiver.
It's so funny to think about, too, because you think about all the guys with the pedigree and the athleticism and everything, but I can't argue with that. It's like, it's hard. I don't want to believe that that's the guy that might be like the top dog, but you watch him play and it's like, he really is looking that good.
Tay Wicks looks like a different Tay sometimes, just saying, like a little bit. It's kind of there.
And it's not a knock on the other receivers either. It's just Wicks is outplaying where he was drafted.
Yeah, 100%. Like I know I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not the biggest Dobbs fan. I've definitely at multiple occasions said when they're in 11, it should be Watson, Wicks, and Reed. But Dobbs took steps last year for sure as a route runner. There were times as a route runner as a rookie where Dobbs was like thinking about how many steps he was running to this certain routes. And you could just tell he was thinking a little bit more. He played a lot more free last year. I still think just Wicks is just there's something about him when he starts cooking, like he just starts to look like 17. And
his footwork is so smooth. I mean, he's just such a natural player. He makes things look so easy. He's so physical. I mean, he does stuff that's like, oh my Lord, that's impressive.
His release off the line is it is Devontae Adams-esque, and it's not just because I spent so many years watching Adams. People all around the league, they watch clips of him and his release, and it's like, oh, I know who that looks like.
And even the way he'll run
Keenan a little bit as well.
Yeah, even the way he'll run like an out route and just the timing of it and the leverage and everything. It's like he's just so natural with that, and he ends up like Devontae did with just this massive amount of space. It's like, how do you do that? How do you run this tight little route and you somehow are 3-4 yards away from the guy?
Guys who can generate tons of separation on slant routes are my favorite.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you even do that, buddy? What have you done with your eyes, your
right?
Like, what are you selling to these corners? I'd probably buy it too. I was very impressed going back through. I'm all in. These were both 5th round picks, right? These were both picks Goody got trading down from 45, right? So just cook, Goody. Just cook, man.
Now, did you give any consideration to drafting Toure here?
Who? Who's that? I don't know who that is.
I think he meant wide receiver 9. I don't know. I'm not sure who that is.
Sounds like a wide receiver 9 to me.
I think it's that guy who was like a 40-year-old quarterback and transitioned to the wide receiver room.
I gotcha.
No, he's 8, and then Toure's 9.
Oh, I know what you meant. Magoo, right?
Yeah. Oh man.
So
classic.
So I'm gonna go. I'm torn between two guys.
Well, my top two guys were my top two guys.
Next?
100%, yeah, because there was two guys I had off the top of my head. I said one of them, and nobody said my second one yet. So I'm guessing
type your other one in the chat here. So and then if your guy is one of my two, I'll take my other one because I need a.
JJ, do what the Raiders did between Terry Arnold and Brock Bowers. Flip the coin, man.
It's more fun. Just pick one. I'll see if I get screwed or not.
All right. Well, I'm actually going to take.
He's thinking about it.
I guess I'm going to go with Elton Jenkins here. And I'm taking him to have a regression to the mean. Because he was just kind of so awful last year for like no reason. The only reason that you can throw out there that really makes any sense is that like Josh Myers was playing so horrible, apparently, that he was making both of our guards awful too, which I guess I could kind of buy. And you had Elton in between Rashid, who, well, not even just Rashid, between Rashid / Yash Nyman, depending on what random snap of the drive it happened to be. And then Josh Myers on the other side, who just like the floor fell out of the bottom for him last year. So, I just think if you look at the entirety of his career, he's obviously had his peak in 2021 where he was just like through the moon elite. And then outside of that, he's just still has just never been as bad as he was last year. He's always been just like really serviceable, plug and play. Like you just don't have to worry about where you put him. And last year he was absolutely a liability, both in run blocking and pass blocking. He did put together a nice string of games between weeks 7 and 18 where he was pretty darn reliable in pass pro, and that was nice.
Yeah.
But that's still like, 40% of the season where he was a liability in pass pro, and then he just never got the run blocking figured out to any degree ever. So I'm just taking him to regress back to the mean and just kind of get back to who he's always been. Be like roughly a 70 overall, and I'll take it. I can live with that. If we can get the really super elite version of him, fantastic. And we should at this point finally be fully 100% removed from the ACL tear. Shouldn't be any more health issues there, that could be cropping up any issues. So that'd be the only other thing that maybe you would have had any reason to give him, give him a pass last year is like, look, you got guys on your right and your left who are making life hard on you, and you're having to kind of cover up for some of their sins or whatever. And maybe your knee still isn't a 1,000,000% where it needs to be, whatever. This year it's go time. So.
Yeah. And I had contemplated another offensive lineman that could fall into that category, which is still available at this point, but I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Really quick, Ryan, before you go, to the point. Yeah, I mean, when you're playing, between Josh Myers and a rotating left tackle position that just did not solve itself until late in the year when Rashid kind of caught fire. That is a like you said, that is a tough situation to be in.
Yeah.
Now that doesn't excuse his play completely, but like it's definitely at least part of it. And just I think that's
there were games where it felt like they literally were going, okay, this is a run play, put Yash in. Okay, now it's a pass play, put Rashid in. Like, what are we doing?
Worst kind of tipping you could possibly have.
Yeah.
Like,
and then we were shocked that we were struggling to put up points on offense. Like, good freaking Lord.
We're just kind of throwing stuff at the wall. So
and again, not an all forgiving excuse, but he's also still dealing with some injuries and stuff that have been lingering. So I'm kind of hopeful if we can calm the offensive line down, get him back fully healthy to start the season. Yeah, hopefully we get that bounce back. But I'm going to go with Mr. Luke Musgrave.
Dang! Wow! All right.
I felt like we were just starting to see something special. It was just starting to come together, and dude ended up getting hurt. It was like it just happened. Like it was just about to get there. Kind of like Christian Watson, which I probably shouldn't even bring that up because if he blows up again and then gets hurt, then I don't know. We don't need to go there. But no, I think he has that next level ability. I think he kind of is like the Christian Watson type of guy that he can just do stuff that other guys can't. That was another thing when I went back and I was looking at some quotes from last year's OTAs. Matt LaFleur is just over the moon, gushing excited about him and his ability, just saying like he can do stuff that guys can't do. He said something to the effect of he can just flat fly and he's a really big target. And obviously, everybody's kind of goofing on him for having weird feet and falling over and everything else. But again, as time went on, it really started to click, and then he went down. And that's when Kraft kind of emerged a little bit. But I think when you get him back healthy, we're going to realize who the top dog is.
I think Kraft is a lot more like the Laportas and the McBrides and the Kincaids of the tight end like position in the NFL. Like Musgrave's an antelope out there, and you just don't see those types of guys running around playing tight end. It's just not a thing. Yeah. So yeah, I agree. I agree with LaFleur on that. Like there's just things like you're not asking. Like I love Tucker Kraft. You're not asking him to just say just basically take a linebacker out of the play and just split the safeties. It's just he has a different gear. So I love that. I think it'd be awesome to see that from him. More 12 personnel, Matt.
Yeah. Well, and not to just get all, obviously this wouldn't help his stats specifically, but you just think about the stress on the defense, like you mentioned with clearing guys out. Think how much guys like Reed and Kraft are going to benefit when the defenses are backpedaling and sprinting for their lives because Christian Watson's over here and you got a tight end flying up the seam again. And there's just 15 yards down the field is a wide open space. And that's one of those things, too, where they're like, this defense sucks. How do you have nobody in the middle of the field? Not realizing it's Matt LaFleur and these freak athletes drawing stuff up that just clear out open spaces. So, yeah, I mean, even if it doesn't, similar to Watson, even if it doesn't fully reflect his stat sheet, he's going to be such an important weapon.
One thing that's really
part of it. Go ahead.
Just across the offense, with the exception of quarterback and I guess the offensive line, but the skill positions on the offense, you're so deep everywhere with guys who you think are like kind of equitable talent. It's like, hey, I'd love to play a lot of 12 personnel. I'd also love to play a lot of 21 personnel. Also, can we see how many receivers we can get on the field at one time?
Can we pull an offensive lineman and put an extra wide receiver out there?
I mean, honestly,
Ryan grubbed it at Washington. Yeah,
the offensive line is kind of the weak spot here. Let's just play all skill positions, and Zach Tom, Nelton Jenkins, and then all the wide receivers and running.
I know what we'll do. Instead of having Josh Myers at center, we'll put a long snapper there. We'll put Jordan about 15, 20 yards back, and then just send him out, and he just got to get the ball out of his hand before the pass rusher gets there.
Oh, so you're telling me Love can just play off script back there? Oh no. Don't like that at all or anything. Yeah, that's funny.
Oh man,
I love it. No, but I think you got to believe that Goody and LaFleur were kind of just giggling, probably watching Musgrave run 20 miles an hour at the Senior Bowl. Like, what is this guy? Like, you guys don't like him? What's the problem? Like, it's just so. I'm very in on that. I think it's going to test how good the linebacker talent is. In the NFL when you have Musgrave stay healthy. And I think the other thing is like he's quick to the point where like if he can just unlock a little more strength, you have some help in the run game there. Like he's not Kraft. He's not going to bury you. He's not going to drive your face into the ground, but like enough quicks to get good position, hold the line a little bit on some stuff. I think he can do that. So yeah, I'm in. I like it.
You know what, dude? I think we play all of the only good linebackers in the league in the regular season this year.
Oh, well.
Basically.
We're going to find out who's real and who's not. Yeah. Okay.
We play the Jets this year. We don't play the Jets this year, do we?
No.
Okay, well, so that would be like the only team.
Maybe
we're not going to
play maybe at some point.
Yeah, you never know.
Them and the
Let's hope we do.
Or Steelers. Ravens. Anyways, all right, so we're starting round 3 here, and I think this time, if you want to drop in a rookie who you think is going to make a big impact, I think that is within the rules now, starting in round 3. And if you want to keep just drafting guys who were on the roster last year who you think are going to make a big leap, you can do that too.
Okay.
Right, I know where I'm going with like my next 3 picks.
I'd love to take a rookie here. I'm not going to. Ryan got me thinking about 12 personnel.
I was trying to get you to.
No.
I was wondering how long it would take you to get your boy in there.
Way. I just didn't think I would get Brooks, Wicks, and Kraft on my team here. This is great. This is an all timer right here.
I think we're all just happy with our top 3s by the time this is done.
I think it just shows you like how much like we're just like, yeah, we'll pick a lot of the second year guys. Like that's how good this draft was last year for Goody. Like we're just gonna pick all the guys we're entering their second year because they're all that good. Like 2024 could be a really good draft. I find it hard to believe it's going to surpass 2023 with a lot of if even half the guys deliver on expectations this year. So I'm going to go Kraft. Boy, we've come a long way since about, that Raider game. I think was probably the last one where it was kind of like, wow, this might be, we're moving quickly here with how bad it's looked when Kraft is on the field to, we got something here. Like he's found it. It took a little bit of time, FCS to the NFL, and he's got it, and he's got a little bit of it now. So, yeah, while Musgrave can attack down the field, you get Kraft and his sort of angry running style combined with the fact that he's played running back before, right? That's what he entered college as. Have some sweet feet like that, be able to run routes, just be a reliable target for Jordan Love when you have a lot more of these low percentage throws that he's going to be taking down the field to Watson, to Melton, to Wicks, to Musgrave, to where you have a reliable option. And I know I could have brought up the other guy at receiver who could do this as well. But I just like the fact that Kraft can help you out in the run game, help out these young tackles, which I think might need it. We'll see, depending on, if Morgan is the starter or not, even if Walker is. So to have that help there and also be a reliable threat in the passing game, I think it's hard. It's hard. What's a breakout year? Because if all of these guys take a step, it's like, we're feeding a lot of guys in the passing game. So the numbers aren't going to look good. But I think the play from Kraft could be really, really good this year.
Or Jordan's just going to have 52 touchdowns and everybody's numbers are going to.
Well, that's I didn't think about that one.
So Musgrave's last game before he came back week 18, but when he went out for injury, it was week 11. If you look at Tucker Kraft starting in week 13, very shortly after, he was ranked as the 8th highest graded receiving and overall tight end in the NFL. So a switch just absolutely flipped. By the way, didn't even really notice this about Musgrave, but he kind of picked it up week 9. So it was week 9, week 10, and then week 11 he ended up getting injured. But he came back, and his last 3 games, his grades were 76, 93, and 76. And the 2 of those were playoffs. So, this dude is ready to frickin'... Sorry to, go back to my guy, but I just pulled it up because I wanted to see when he got hurt, and I'm like, I had no idea. Dude, usually guys come back from injury, even veterans, and it's it's pretty bad. It's rough. Yeah. He comes back from injury and puts up stupid numbers for 3 straight games, and again, 2 of them in the playoffs. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I remember being one of those people who's like, hey, pump the brakes on the Musgrave excitement.
Right.
It'd be cool if he even gets on the field, but he should be in rough shape. Nope.
Yeah. Not a problem.
Oh God, I'm getting excited now.
Play it.
So I'm gonna take Rashawn Gary.
Shut up, too old for this.
Okay.
Here's Mr. Jeff Halfley.
Too old for this. Did Musgrave take a step with his left foot or his left foot? I had to.
Both of you can just shut up.
I had to. It was too funny. All right. Sorry, JJ.
Halfley was asked about what he wants his defense to do, and he said, you have to get after the quarterback. When you have a chance to get after the quarterback, you just have to. And I think people who are kind of tired of seeing Gary have to kind of hold back and sort of play contain in the run game, and then he's a half step or whole step behind in actually chasing down a quarterback, whatever. I think they're going to have fun seeing him back with his hand in the dirt and just teeing off on a quarterback, and I'm going to be excited to see this man 2 years removed from a freaking ACL tear. People always forget this. They always forget. Rule of thumb with an ACL. 1 year to get back on the field. 2 years to get back to the man you were before the injury. So
yeah, not everybody's
there's a lot of people who are just pissed off about how Rashawn played last year, and I'm like, dude, he's on the field. He's on the field. That was the goal for 2023.
And he worked real hard to get back on the field too. Yeah.
Nobody cares about that.
He got paid and he started playing like crap. How about this? How about he got paid about the same time that he started getting freaking tired because he'd been a few games into the season and his leg is not where it needs to be. Man is worn out. All right.
I'm so ready for like a 13 sack
That's
season.
just what it looks like year one when you're getting back on the field after an injury like that.
Just stunt.
And I really think it could happen too. Like everybody's upset with Rashawn, especially because of the sack numbers. But like you were saying, obviously he had a lot of different responsibilities and whatnot. You take a guy like Rashawn and just say, just go get the quarterback, just tee off, just get him. Bro, he's so happy right now. And let's just say hypothetically that he did kind of take a little bit off because we don't like Joe Barry. We're frustrated. The defense sucks. I just got paid. Screw you. Whatever. Everybody's a little bit more energized coming back into this, no matter what, because everybody gets what they want. So even if there was some concern about that, I think you might see a more energized and excited Rashawn Gary ready to get back to work.
You put one of those like oversized, movie theater arrows that blink over a quarterback, and you're like, yeah,
right,
that way, buddy. I'm pretty sure we're in good hands there. Well,
and it's funny because we have so many guys now because we keep saying that about everybody, but it's like, well, that's one of the benefits. I mean, it was a negative at the time, but that's one of the benefits of Gutekunst has like never drafted a guy that could run defend to save his life. Every defensive tackle he gets is a pure pass rusher.
Yep.
And now we get this new defense in here where it's like, don't worry about that. Linebackers will clean that up. You just get the quarterback. It's like, I'd love to just pretend Goody was a genius, but I think maybe his mistakes are kind of paying off in a big way right now with this defense.
Gosh, even when Goody does things wrong, he's right. Like,
I know, right?
This is insane.
Even when he's stupid, he's a genius.
I love it. Yeah, too old for this, bro. I kind of snuck that in there. I don't know if it was heard, but yeah, not everybody's come back Adrian Peterson style. Like, that's not. We started to make that the expectation.
Yeah.
And that got out of hand.
Well, I mean, look at David Bakhtiari. We thought the guy was going to play like week one. Exactly. He didn't play the entire year or the next year or the year at
Yeah.
And I have ranted about this too many times, but I'm going to do it again because it still makes me this mad. We bring back Elton Jenkins after his ACL tear, and what do we do right off the bat? Put a freaking right tackle. He hasn't played it for us before. Yeah. He should be inside playing in a phone box where he doesn't have all this extra strain on his leg, let alone let's put him on the right side. Come on, dude. Like this was doomed from the start. And
that's the other thing.
It was so frustrating. And it leads me, into the Eric Stokes thing again too. Of like the dude was rehabbing and relearning how to walk back in January, February, and then in like August, September, the coaches are talking about like, he'll be ready to play, and I'm like, hey, can we pump the brakes on this? And people are like, dude, no, like, why would you be doubting his ability to get back on the field? And I'm like.
Yeah, and the fan mentality beyond that is, well, then if he can't play, we should cut him. We should trade him. He's got to go. Like, if you can't be on the field, you got to go. Okay, all right. And it's annoying, too, because that standard only applies to some people. Aaron Jones was injury prone. Nobody said anything about it. Nobody cared that Aaron Jones had injury issues, and he almost never finished. I mean, the guy played half the season last year, and everybody threw a fit that we didn't re-sign him. But certain guys...
For half a season.
Right, he played half a game for half of the games that we played because he's on a snap count every year because he's a smaller guy with injury issues. But we don't care because he's Aaron Jones and we've put him into the godlike status. I'm not trying to disparage him, but maybe have some of that same kind of courtesy to other people that have had a couple injury issues. And some of these guys, it's like, it's been a year or it's been 2 years or whatever. Relax.
Yeah.
Relax. Give it time. They're still young football players. They can go on to have very long, successful careers.
I think it's a combination of like they see one athlete come back quickly, and they're like, well, everybody should do it. Everybody should be coming back that quickly.
That and or they see one bad scenario where a guy doesn't come back, and they're like, oh, he's never coming back. It's going to be every game. It's like, oh, my Lord.
Oh, we're playing the extremes? Really?
Right.
I'm shocked. Color me surprised there.
Yeah.
No, but that's the other thing. It's like, some people like, you stub your toe, you're out for 8 to 12 hours, right? You're complaining about these athletes not coming back from tearing up their knees. Right. How are you coming back from tearing up your knee? Huh? How you doing? It's like, no, it's month 15. It hurts. It's like, yeah, really interesting.
My feet hurt. I need to sit.
I think the way people have
You're
always
complaining about walking 12 hours at Disney World, and these guys are just sprinting down the field, right, getting into car crashes, a bunch of times a game, tearing up their knees. But you're mad about them not getting back on. I better not hear it. I better not.
The man rehab. All right, he's in pain.
Yeah. I'm calling next person I hear at a park like that. I'm calling him out. I'm calling him out.
Yeah, touch your toes, all right, and then you can talk to me about it.
Yeah, come on. Oh no, I walked too far today. Okay, okay.
I'm feeling called out right now because my wife and I walked all over New York City for 5 days, and at the end of every day, we just like whine about how much our feet.
Oh yeah, it hurts. It sucks. Walking's
like we walked for 14 hours. So much pain.
Which that's fine. Like that's fine.
Nobody's
don't think
trying to tackle us or take our head off.
Right.
We're not getting sacked by a pound linebacker.
Right, and I'm not imagining you being the person who's like, "Why aren't they getting back on the field?" Like you're not the one doing that. So it's not specifically at that person. It's the type of commenter that would also feel that way. It's kind of like, all right, come on, perspective now. But
well, I think on this vein of like the sort of fan attitude toward players trying to come back from injury, like there's an obvious segue here to the Eric Stokes conversation. And I think people, the Packers fan base, to me, has like always been exactly wrong about Eric Stokes. Like the pendulum swings
right
the worst way every time. Like his
they were too high and then too low. Yeah.
His rookie year, people are like acting like he's this god. Like he might be, a top 5 corner in the league. He's so freaking good. Can you believe it as a rookie? And it's like, hey, for a rookie, he's playing fine. Like I'm happy that
5 highlights.
I'm happy that, we lost Jair and we're not losing games because of that, because Eric Stokes can step up. Like, wonderful. Love it. Thank you, Eric. Then year 2, like there's a idiot on Twitter who I'm not going to name drop, but was doing this big stupid thread the other day about how bad Eric Stokes' second year was, which is complete crap. He played better football in year 2 than in year 1.
Well, he didn't have a second year. What are you even talking about? He had a second couple of games.
Right.
Is this the same person who said that Van Ness is better standing up?
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting.
You know what? We need to find the.
We better check that.
Okay, let's see.
You should just create an account called Worst Takes, and they're all yours. You just put stupid stuff out there.
We must know.
I'm trying to see if I can find.
It's like that Ice Cold Takes account, except they're all my takes.
Yeah.
Ice Cold Takes, oops, all mine. In parentheses. I do like Joseph's comment, like Lloyd and Jacobs. Like I joked about this. We're like, talking in March and stuff. Like, why not go oops all bigs at running back?
Yeah.
Well, we're kind of here. Like this might be kind of fun. Just saying.
It's funny because we always talk about like this isn't Madden, dude. That's not how you do it. And every once in a while, Gutekunst just pulls some stuff like that. Like, no, bro, it's Madden. Really? We're going all bigs, baby.
Yeah.
All right, I found the thing about Van Ness being a better stand-up, yada yada. It was not the same person, but
well, that we know of. They could have multiple accounts. You don't know.
He's got a burner.
We could never be sure.
He's got a burner for his spicy takes.
Yeah. I did notice though. I went and clicked on the account of the guy who
Brian, it was you
who Tazim was talking to, and I noticed that I have muted this profile. So this guy has said other dumb stuff before.
Oh, so it's not Brian.
It's no.
Brian's making a funny.
I keep
here.
debating muting Brian, but then he redeems himself with a brilliant tweet, and so I don't.
Yeah. So. Dang it! I can't pass up on that.
Oh yeah, Stokes. So Stokes' second year, he plays better football than he did in year 1, and then misses most of the year because of a horrific injury where they won't put it on TV because it's like too horrifying to watch. And then he has to go and do physical therapy to learn how to walk again, allegedly. And you got idiots on social media saying, "Oh, he's injury prone." Like, dude,
that's not even what that means, dude.
That isn't.
So then, for some reason, we rush him back on the field again, and people are like, "Oh, oh, look at that. He sucks. I'm out. Cut him. We need to trade him. Like, this is terrible. I'm like, it is a miracle that he's walking, and I want to smack his position coach for putting him back on the field right now because he should not be on the field. He needs to be doing rehab stuff and still learning. Like, what in the world makes us think that this man is ready to play football again, that his speed is back where it needs to be, that his leg is, not compromised still? And then, oh, look at this. Wow, he plays like 2 games and then has another injury. Who could have predicted that he was going to get hurt again when we're like, hey, here, hand me your crutch, and then I'll hold it for you while you go out there and play down a football. Go cover this punt return or whatever. So I'm just I guess I'll take Stokes as my guy to bounce back this year.
Did you take Gary or did you take Stokes?
I'm taking both because
we're still. I was like, wait a minute, it's still you picked and then you picked.
Yeah, but I'm hosting this week, so I get to take both of them. I make the rule. Okay. I'm taking Stokes because I'm kind of fired up about him right now. And,
we're doing Snake now.
We're snaking in the middle of the round. What?
It's like Uno. He pulled a reverse card.
It's like when Michael Scott halfway through the White Elephant is like, let's play Yankee Swap.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I got
Ryan,
an idea.
Go ahead and you can take Stokes now. It's fine.
No.
JJ just doesn't have a 4th round pick now. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You can have both, but.
So how are we doing the rookie thing? Just somebody we think is going to make an impact? Because obviously it's not technically a jump.
Ryan's going to take.
Somebody you think is going to make a.
I'm contemplating. I mean, there's another one that I really like.
Dum 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 dum.
But
I'm actually.
Yeah.
If you've got a rookie, I think you should take him because I'm really curious to hear how you think a rookie is gonna. Well, I guess there is a really obvious one.
I think there's one that I think makes a lot of sense. But
I'm not. Now I'm going to let it. I just brought it up.
We're on the same page, but
we have to all be thinking of the same rookie.
I can't.
There can't be a second rookie that we're.
No,
I'm going to disappoint everybody.
I hate you. Wait,
no, he's going to take the guy. I think Ryan and I are on the same.
There
page.
we go. Okay. Now,
I think
Jake.
Ryan and I are on the same page. I'm almost positive. I think JJ's on a different page than Ryan and I are. I think we'll see.
Well, I just said it.
Well,
you did?
Yeah.
Who was it?
I didn't. You were muted. I couldn't hear you.
Who was it?
No. What I'm saying is I'm going to disappoint everybody because I'm not going to take a rookie. I'm going to take Devontae Wyatt.
Oh.
Okay.
I see. Okay.
Defensible. I like it. Hold on.
Yeah. I mean, we've kind of talked about what's up.
I removed the hater while you talk about Devontae Wyatt.
Oh.
Come back in when we're talking about a player he approves of.
No, I mean, it's kind of the only reason I didn't really want to talk about it is because it's the same thing we've talked about with everybody else. I mean, I think the go get the quarterback thing is going to benefit him. I think, honestly, maybe more than anybody else. Obviously, it's going to benefit Rashawn and probably Kenny because I think he's just a significantly better pass rusher. But Devontae Wyatt is, I think, an underrated pass rusher and a just abysmal run defender. So this is perfect for him. So I'm just excited to just cut that freaking guy loose and let him kill people.
And Jake is just excited to just cut that freaking guy and then leave the rest of the sentence.
I didn't know he hated Devontae Wyatt. Now I know.
Jake,
am I back on?
You're here.
Oh. I was looking.
I was like giving us some weird looks right now. Like I don't know what's about to happen.
I didn't know when I was allowed back in. No, I thought Ryan and I were on the same page. That's all I was disappointed.
I just brought it up very casually.
Why it makes sense.
And then I thought about it. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it. But then there was so much pressure to get a rookie. Everybody's taking bets on what I'm about to say.
I think
I want to take a rookie, but I could also stick my neck out.
You guys are not getting used to. You're not used to getting kicked off the stream, and I've been kicked off the stream so often that I'm just like I notice when I'm on and off, and you guys are like, "Wait, what's going on?"
Well, you're just kind of like, "Well, we'll just take him off till we're done talking about Wyatt." So I didn't know how long you're going to go on about Wyatt, and I was just kind of looking at some 2025 receivers. So that's all.
He's trying to find his Roma Doomsday of, his Lincoln Neighbors of 2025.
Oh yeah. Anyway,
who's your pick?
Do you want me to take? Right? Do you want me to take a rookie, or do you want me to stick my neck out?
Well, I'm not taking any rookies, so the more rookies you draft, that's the more veterans that I have to choose from.
I feel like hot take, stick your neck out would be more interesting here.
Do it.
I'm gonna stick my neck out for this guy. I'm gonna do it, and it's, you know what? It may come around and slap me in the face again. That's fine. I think my first 3 picks have a good enough body of work there to do this. Sean Ryan.
I'm terrified. Oh, Sean Ryan. Okay.
Sean Ryan, sticking the neck out for this one.
I think it's going to happen. This is a good pick because he really doesn't have to accomplish very much.
Yeah.
to significantly over,
it's a borderline safe pick.
All right. I'll stick my neck out. He gets 3 games graded over 80. Really? He gets 3 games graded over 80. Okay,
here's
4. I'll stick it out even further. 4 games.
But that's not what his problem was last year. His problem was he couldn't string together 2 in a row.
Yeah, that's
4 in a row, 80 plus. I'll stick my neck out. 4 in a row.
All right.
He's going Rasheed Walker hunting this time. Okay,
got it.
There we go.
That's
stick
fair.
The neck out for it.
If Sean Ryan,
we should have saved that for a bold prediction show. Darn it. Oh well. Had to do it.
So
I just think
last year Sean Ryan had 3 games in the 80s in pass blocking and 1 at 75. But the games in between those, you ready for this? You ready for this, Jake?
40,
75.9, 0.0, 82.6, 30, 81.7, 34.8.
You know what they say? Find a guy who keeps you guessing, right? They say that, I think, right? Sean Ryan keeps us guessing out there. Okay, some people like that.
I think those women who have a hard time finding a good guy say that.
Well, that could be. I'm not saying who's saying it. I know someone. Says
I heard somebody say it for sure.
Yeah, somebody definitely said that one time. No,
if Sean I do think string together 3 games in a row that are all 60, I'll be my jaw will drop. I'll be so happy.
3 in a row, 75 plus. We'll take it right there. I'm calling it.
Boom.
No, but I think
we should do a bold prediction.
How right guard is? We should. You can just clip this and bring it to that. I think. But no, I'm interested to see what right guard is going to look like competition wise. Is Jordan Morgan going to get a chance over there? I have no idea. I think he at least should. Right. I think they should at least be trying this as they can to see, okay, is Jordan Morgan just left tackle? Okay, fine, perfect. Now we got to find a right guard who's going to be Jacob Monk, Sean Ryan, right? There are options, right? It's not the best, I would say, but
I mean, I think this is the number one question of the offseason.
Right.
Who's going to
that in corner probably, right? Is going to corner 2 going to step up? Those are probably the 2. So if they think Morgan is a left tackle, somebody's got to do something. Somebody's got to do something out there. So why not Sean Ryan, who I think he has, JJ already pointed out, has had some solid games in pass protection. Let's just make it more consistent. I'm going to buy the consistency in year 3.
I'm trying to.
Booyah.
I'm getting PTSD to our flashbacks to our conversations where we're arguing with people who are saying, no, Sean Ryan's like the best run blocker on the team, bro. I saw a cut up.
I never said that.
Oh yeah, right. That was so annoying. And it was people that should know better. It was like prominent Packers people who are putting this out there and telling everybody that they're really good.
Oh dang.
Clayton in the house.
Clayton.
What's up, Clayton?
Man. Kalen King's season, says Clayton.
Talk about Kalen King a little bit, Jacob.
We're gonna at least have
King.
a Kalen King game in the preseason that's gonna have us talking about
for sure
how he's gonna fit in the defense.
Yeah,
and I mean I don't think that Kalen King is gonna get an early opportunity on the defense, but man. They're like just thin enough. He's going to get opportunities throughout the season probably early on, probably in the first month, he's going to play some meaningful snaps on defense for the Packers. If he can step up, man, and I know that we have Kalen King's biggest hater. Here it is. This is Kalen King's biggest hater, Brian Maffey. What are you talking about, Bukowski? What? I'm gonna put your other comment.
I think that was the Sean Ryan thing. Anyway, but this feels very Valentine-esque, right, from last year. Got a very similar thing where it's like, oh, so that you're telling me the corner room didn't get a whole lot deeper. They just added one guy late who has some pedigree, who played well in 2022.
Yep.
The mind starts firing in a lot of different ways, right? Oh, is he the next Valentine? Oh, is he a Wicks or a Jaden Reed who had just had a bad year, right? And you start to the gears start turning, and you start talking yourself into a guy who went very late in the draft. Like those guys always break out. But Goody's on a hot streak right now, so you never know. I think with Kalen King, I think what you notice with King is his best reps are when he gets hands-on early and often.
Yes.
Once that happens, we're good. He can play. He can make sure prevent stacks. He can get on top, play like dominant technique almost at the catch point, and that's where he's making his plays. That's where he's getting PBUs. That's where he's picking the ball off. So if he gets hands-on early, we're in great shape. And I think that's where Goody's just sitting there in the 7th round probably going like, hey, like this guy's good and pressed, you're telling me? He's physical? Isn't
Right.
this Jeff, tell me, is that what we need?
Yeah.
We need that, right?
And
it's
clearly
just
was
okay.
worth at least a 7th round pick, and he was such a late 7th. Like it was a no brainer to take him. I think he should have gone earlier. And I think the proper way to view Kalen King right now is like you shouldn't, as a fan, I don't think you should have any expectations for Kalen King.
No,
Right.
Probably
But if he pulls a Carrington Valentine and plays well, you also should not be at all surprised. Like,
Sure.
no.
we know that it is in there. Brian Maffey has a 10 trillion tweet long thread of, hey, here's all the reasons why Kalen probably doesn't have it for the NFL. And that's fine. I'm totally acknowledge that his 2023 season was really just not there. But I think he's got the physical tools. And I think that it seems like he is coming into this with the right attitude, attacking the offseason. He's got a chip on his shoulder. If he works hard, he's going to get opportunities. He just has to make the most of those opportunities and play well. And there is absolutely room for him to step up and make a career out of this. Yeah. So I'm all here for the Kalen King's success. Like I said, I don't think that fans should have expectations of him doing great things, but you also should not be at all surprised if he does deliver, because we've seen that he has it.
Well, he belongs in Green Bay too. I'll say that. I mean, he fits the Bullard, Williams, Oladapo mold. The Green Bay Packers trying to get more physical, trying to, again, get hands on guys, playing some press, playing physical football. That's him in a nutshell. I mean, he's I would almost say he's a little too physical. He's a very grabby and but he makes it work. Yeah. He can be real slick and subtle about it, where it's like, I think that was a penalty, but I don't know, and it looked really good. And then there's also the hitting guys out of bounds stuff. But all together, it's like, this guy needs to be here. I mean, he just fits. It's what we're looking. Yeah. I don't know if he's ever going to be a great football player or not, but he's going to contribute to the culture. And I think he could, if he's going to thrive somewhere, I think it could be here. And I'm excited to see what he can do.
I think him coming downhill like a heat-seeking missile on special teams is something he'd be willing to do as well.
Sure.
Like you see him from off coverage on a lot of the screen game just being utterly disruptive. And I think the biggest thing with him is, we already kind of mentioned it, right? It was just, and to your point on him playing physical and subtle about it, Joey Porter Jr. was doing the same thing over there. So clearly Penn State, their coaching staff did a nice job of like, all right, here's what you can get away with. Here's how to do it. And they were doing it, and both of those guys were doing it at a very high level in 22. With King, it was just kind of like, okay, he can, once he's mirroring off the line of scrimmage. He's mirroring the release, and then you get hands on. Mm-hmm. And we're in really good shape. The problem is when he's like trying to play more soft press and they were giving him that option, and where it's kind of like, all right, he's opening the gate too early. He just doesn't maybe have the agility for this. He doesn't have the speed for this. If we could give Kalen King the speed of Eric Stokes, we don't have a problem here. We don't, because then he can be overly patient, right? Because he knows he's very aware, at least he's self-aware of the fact that, like, okay, I'm going to get beat down the field sometimes because I don't have the speed that some of these guys have. And because of that, now you're seeing a guy who's like, okay, if there's any threat of any vertical pressure, I have to open up because otherwise I'm going to get beat down the field. And that's the problem in that soft press look, because now he has no control over anything.
Exactly.
And when he's playing defensive in that, that's what 2023 was, so much so. And it's like, you just look at 22 and you're like, he's getting hands on guys. He's playing, close to the line. He's disruptive. You just cannot have him in looks where he has to almost guess to be in the right spot and guess that, like, guy's not going to try to run vertical route behind me. That's the issue. So yeah, if we could give him the speed of Eric Stokes, first off, this would not be a 7th round pick, right? But like, that would be really, really helpful. So it's going to come down to like technique for King. The technique has to be really, really good, for him to hang on the outside. It's not saying he can't do it, but that's what it's going to take for him.
And the obvious benefit is that's what Hafley wants to do. He wants to set you up so you're not guessing. But the problem is you can't be in press man all the time. Like, sometimes you're going to have to be in those looks, and now you're exposed, and that's when it gets a little bit scary. And it is funny because that was sort of my thought, is a lot of times it's like, I don't think he had the physical or the physical tools to handle that, but he had that slight little grab, so it looked really pretty. So it's like, I don't know whether to give you credit for that or to look at that and say, you suck too much to do that naturally, and so I shouldn't like you. But I mean, it's just like super slick, tight coverage. So it's like, I don't know. I guess good job. I don't really know what to think. There's a lot to like about him, but yeah, I think at the end of the day, you look at him and go, I don't know if you can be good enough. Like, I mean, to be that technically perfect, to be that limited and thrive in the NFL would be my question. But I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
So Brian,
it's tough.
Brian suggesting the Packers should draft Kalen King's brother next year, and I forget what his name is, like Kobe King or something like that. But he's a linebacker at Penn State, pretty decent.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about that. I was probably in what's his name's draft guide.
Brugler, yeah. And I just gotta say, the Packers should just draft him regardless, because they're starting to get a track record of drafting the wrong brother. So just draft both of them. Keep them until you figure out which one is the right brother to have.
That's a good idea.
Well, they got Aaron Jones.
That's true. That
was the right brother.
They might have the right Melton brother. We'll see.
Yeah, that's true.
It's going to be.
I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
I said they might have the right Melton brother.
Oh yeah,
we'll
yeah.
See. We'll see, but we'll see.
Look, I like still. Bo. I just would like to have both of them. That's
sure. That's fair.
Who drafted last?
I don't know.
22 minutes.
I think it was a long time ago.
Wait, no, didn't Ryan draft Devontae Wyatt? I think
I did. Yeah, that might have been.
No, I drafted Sean Ryan. I drafted Sean Ryan. Wow, I forgot I picked a guy. Goodness sakes.
Clayton drafted Kalen King, so
I think so. Yeah,
he's one of those teams that traded away all their early picks, and then his first pick of the board was in the 4th round.
Yeah, he picked early a lot last year, and so it was kind of like that was your Stokes pick, wasn't it, JJ? He traded that pick to you, right, to move up last year.
There you go. That's it. That's how I got my Eric Stokes pick, because he traded up for JJ McCarthy and Dallas Turner last year, and so now he doesn't have any picks this year until the 4th round. So you just better hope that JJ McCarthy and Dallas Turner actually pay out.
Yeah.
All right. So Ryan was the last one, which does complete a round. And we're 23 minutes over. Oh, it was you?
I picked
and then
Ryan.
You guys said
I picked Sean Ryan.
You said I had to skip my round this one. So Ryan, you got one more.
All right.
You got one more. Close us out here.
All right. Well, I feel like we got to do a rookie since we talked about it, because nobody's done it. The problem is I don't know what rookie to do. And it always, I know.
I wouldn't take him, but
I'm putting my rookie pick in the private chat. This is the only.
All right, I won't look, but we'll save it. We'll save it for after. So I'm being pulled in a direction. I like Edgerrin Cooper a lot. I'm excited about what Marshawn Lloyd can do. Jordan Morgan is probably the right pick, but I'm going to go with Javon Bullard.
Yes.
I don't exactly know why. I'm excited to see what he's going to be able to do next to Xavier McKinney. I like the supporting cast around him. I like the fact that, when you've got a guy like McKinney next to you, it kind of frees up what you're going to be able to do. I feel like he's in a good spot to just, as a rookie, be a solid impact player. And a guy that's not talked about as much, right? Oladapo, for whatever reason, gets a ton of hype. Morgan is talked about constantly. Marshawn Lloyd is always talked about. Edgerrin Cooper. Bullard, I feel like, is kind of getting pushed to the side a little bit. But I think he's going to be a good football player this year.
People talk about Oladapo a lot.
I'm trying to think who hypes up Oladapo.
I had to.
Why would people be doing that? I don't know.
I do think you're right. Like, this is, I think we might have talked about this.
I didn't check the private chat.
Jordan Morgan's probably the guy that is just kind of the most excitement. That's probably should be the best pick in this draft, where it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. The first rounder, like,
yeah.
But man, Javon Bullard, like, give me more. Like, I honestly, like, if they liked Williams or Oladapo, let's just work with me here. Could Bullard, like, take Nixon's spot at nickel?
No.
Could he just outright take it?
I will. How much do you want to bet? I'll put money down that Bullard takes Nixon's spot.
Sticking your neck out? Oh,
wow.
Let's go.
Neck is out.
Before season starts? Like, he's just going to take that?
Week 1, he's the slot.
Before, I will say by week 2.
I'm not trying to give you by week 2. Okay.
I'll say by week 2. All right. This is the Eric Stokes. This is the Eric Stokes thing.
Well, now Ryan's got to stick his neck out. So
yeah, I don't have a neck out thing here.
Yeah, he's got to find one.
Wait, I know what Ryan can stick his neck out on.
Okay.
Ryan, just answer this pinned question from Brian Maffey. Are you ready to place your flag on whether Hunter is a cornerback or wide receiver in the NFL? Answer now. Do it.
I feel like
Do it now.
I swear, I feel like that's not sticking your neck out. I feel like this is an easy answer, actually.
I know my answer. I'm taking corner. What are you taking?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
He'll be like he'll get like a couple snaps on offense for fun because he's Travis Hunter, but he's a corner.
His eyes in zone coverage are stupendous, man. Like, just he can play corner entire time. No problem with that. Corner's looking good next year though. So
Ryan, I was
passed on that.
So you could figure out what you're gonna stick your neck out on.
Yeah.
All right, I'm working on it. You actually distracted me on this for a while, and I'm like, there's no way you're asking me this. I don't care at all about freaking Travis Hunter or whatever his name is.
Oh man.
I don't know why I'm being pulled toward the running backs. I don't really have a hot take, but I feel like there's one sitting there. I don't think Lloyd is going to overtake Jacobs, so I can't do that.
Yeah, that would be sticking your neck out.
Holy and it's
giraffe level right there.
I don't think I want to go the other way either, although that's more realistic, but it makes me sad that they're going to kind of give him the rookie treatment and Dylan's going to be the number 2, but I could absolutely see that being a thing.
Oh no. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Actually, I don't have an answer yet, but I know what I'm going to gun for.
Well, although Rodgers isn't here anymore and they're not doing the stupid like all-in crap.
Oh.
And Goody has talked, he's brought up like 5 times this offseason about how much he loves the way that the competition last year sharpened everybody.
Yeah.
So...
yeah, they had no choice but to throw everybody in there, and it worked to their benefit. Maybe they'll learn something from that.
Yeah.
All right.
It almost seemed like it was like a revelatory thing for him.
Here's my neck out thing.
He's seen the light.
May or may not be very interesting. I'm going to say, and I have nothing against the guy. I think he's solid. But since I liked this guy prior to this draft, I think Michael Pratt.
Hey.
How far do I want to take this? Michael Pratt.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Let's just say this. Michael Pratt will perform better than Sean Clifford in the preseason. That's what I'll say.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
I don't know. It's tough because Sean Clifford, the whole thing is he's a super genius, so they're going to want him holding the clipboard. So I don't know that they're going to give Pratt the number 2 job. I mean, how good does he have to be to take that job away from Clifford? I just feel like that's going to be tough. Screw it. I'll say it. Who cares? It's not like we're actually betting anything. Fine. He's going to be the number 2 quarterback. There you go.
We're going to have a different, I think, bold predictions show anyway.
Pratt's QB2.
I just got into the mood of it, so.
Jersey Mike is a genius, too.
I'm with you, JJ, there, by the way.
Well, Brian's out here trying to smear my name. And
he might be player 1.
Okay, player 1? That could be.
Goodbye. Enough of that baloney.
I knew it. I knew that was coming.
Fine. How about Pratt as QB1? How about that? Is that sticking my neck out or not?
That's definitely sticking your neck out.
Oh man. I feel like I have to go back and say Sean Ryan's like going to be an all-pro or something.
Sean Ryan will be the starting left tackle.
There it is. Sean Ryan plays 4 positions this year.
We only have 4 offensive linemen because Sean Ryan is 2 of them.
That would be like it would be a very like, Goody, we need Cooper Beebe. It's like, no, we have Cooper Beebe at home. like, very much so.
You guys have any last thoughts you want to get out here? Or
check out Ticket King. You can choose some tickets. That's my thought.
I'm not in the top right anymore, but it's up here, way up here now.
Oh, hold on. There we go.
There it is. Yeah.
Wait, I want to do it too.
Okay. Everybody gets a chance. Oh, goodness.
Alrighty. In the words of the late, great Mr. David Wallace, go Pack Go.